Hi everyone, welcome to Echoes Within Podcast, a space where we dive into life's complexities.
This is not just a conversation, it's an exploration of things that we feel but rarely say out loud. So
Let's uncover.
reflect and connect.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I don't know why we were laughing. What are you doing, Jockey?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but we're back again.
Yeah.
I know we keep saying that
We
we're
keep-
back.
We keep taking this mini sabbaticals,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Yeah, but we're finally back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been having we've had quite a few episodes, and they've been quite interesting. I would say interesting.
Yeah.
Our last one being the Would You Rather game. And so today we also have another interesting conversation. It's a funny one and an interesting one at the same time.
Yeah.
It's about the icks that we get from different things. It can be
Yeah.
from other people. Yeah, just icks that we normally get from interactions with different people.
Yeah,
So it's quite an interesting one.
Okay. Yeah, so let's dive right into
Yeah,
it. So I think we're going to share some scenarios, and also in experiences or what we find to be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you like to go first?
I think I have a lot of them.
Yeah.
The first one being, especially, because I love food. Let me just talk for myself.
Yeah.
The first one being when people are just talking with food in their mouth.
Yeah.
Because why are you talking with food in your mouth? What's that? So that one is like a very major ick. And I know there's this term, like the people who are, I don't say, what's the word? Because it's not allergic. People who don't like, people who are just triggered by certain sounds, like people who are going to be triggered by maybe the sound of somebody eating. You see those like sounds that you make when you're normally eating. I think it's called misophonia, if I'm not wrong. I think the correction
the big words.
There's misophonia. So there are people who are like they're triggered by the sounds of certain things. Like for example, a person eating. So I don't want to say I'm part of them, but that one for chewing. And
it's so triggering.
because
Especially now when they start like even kind of spitting on you.
stop, because there are also people who spit on you when they are talking. Okay, well, sometimes it's very accidental, but I can imagine because when
And
you're
there's people who
spitting,
can't help it, like that's their nature. And it's very unfortunate, but that's understandable. Like, but like when you're talking,
while you're
eating,
chewing, and at the same time you're not minding how you're chewing, because chewing so loudly is also a very major ick. And I don't know why I'm judging people who normally just spit on people, because even me, when I'm very anxious when I'm talking, I tend to do so. But
Like, actually, there's that splash that comes out somehow, like every once in a while.
So that's a major one.
That's a major one. Okay. An ick. I think for me, one of my biggest icks is like people who like make promises and that they can't keep. That they can't keep, I mean. And you didn't even like ask them to make a promise to you. Like it totally came from them. And then you don't deliver. Of course, even if you don't deliver, I won't be disappointed because I was not expecting anything. But still, I'm like, why did you even like have to put that expectation on anyone?
And then you don't I get that. I didn't even tell you to promise me that, but you promised. So why you?
But why did you even bring it up in the first place? Like it's so annoying.
I feel like that tends to happen, especially when people are excited. Maybe you're excited about a certain conversation that came up, and then you just tend to overpromise. Or you were maybe under the influence of maybe alcohol, maybe whatever you use, and then you tend to promise things that you know you would deliver. But it's so disappointing, because then from there on I'll never forget that. I'll just be knowing that you're a liar.
You're a liar. Like it might even be like a genuine mistake, like you genuinely forgot. But for me, like that will just register in my mind that that's your character, like that's who you are. And I'll just like
because I know sometimes we get very excited to promise certain things, but you'd rather, because sometimes you might not be like maybe delivering because maybe for certain reasons, like for example, maybe you promised to buy somebody something, but you don't even have the money. Maybe something came up and then you ran out of cash in between the month. But see, you can always say that maybe you ran out of cash. You tell me, just reassure me that okay, maybe I don't have the money right now, but I still remember I made this promise, but I'll make sure to do it later. Just
accountability is honorable. So I think even now where like stands that it is when like you make a promise, you don't deliver, and then like
you go silent,
or even when someone brings it up, you start like kind of making it seem like you did not because you don't want to be held accountable.
Why you gaslighting? Because I was big for sure. About me, so one thing I know, like I don't forget it. So
true. So if I tell you that you said it, it's indeed is.
I'm not going to make up a story that you promised something and you didn't.
All right. That's another ick.
That's a good one. I would say another ick for me is you see the way people the people who are very indecisive. Like let's say for example, you always saying okay. People are always asking questions like you're needed to make a decision, but you're always like even in the most of the simplest decisions, like let's say for example you're going out for you with you to maybe get ice cream, and then there's all these varieties of ice cream. You're supposed to make your decision for yourself, but you keep on asking, Ama nichukue hii? Do I pick this one? What do you think? Should I pick this one? Am I just pick this one? Like, please just make a decision. Ama maybe it's a very major decision that you're supposed to make on yourself. And then, Ama, what do you think?
And then you want to be influenced by everyone, by everyone's opinion.
For me, I feel like in some cases, well, not in all the cases, but for some cases, please just make a decision. Because sometimes it tends to come off like you're very nagging. Please.
And if your decision especially like influences the people that are around you, like being indecisive also affects them too. So I think it's also selfish to be that kind of a person. In a way. In a subtle way. Does that make sense?
It does.
Because maybe like in a group, I think maybe this is how I've experienced that. Like in a group, you're planning to do something, and then we can't agree on one thing because one person cannot make a decision, and they keep like bringing up suggestions, but they're not even sure about them. So like they keep on derailing the process, annoying people.
For sure. That's why I've also like experienced that. But also, I think another case is in a case where I'm the one who suggested something, but then again, because let's say you wanted to surprise me, I didn't know about it because this is something you wanted to do for me. And then you just come in. Because if you really want to surprise me, if you just surprise me, keep on asking questions. Ama, what do you think? Ama, what do you think? Just make a decision and decide.
How is it even a surprise now?
Because
they're asking for your input.
There's one of my friends who keeps on doing that.
Wow. Okay. I think another ick for me is people who don't know. I don't know if I should call it a boundary. Okay, let me just put it this way: like people who don't know how to give you space, like they're all up in your space, and it could even be something as simple as maybe someone came to see you, and then like come chill too. They're not even in a hurry to like go. Okay, fine. It's like maybe when you don't like someone like them. Because if it's someone like you, like I don't care if you come in my house and stay for a whole week. Like there's always going to be that vibe going on. But there's still that this way. Like I've experienced that in some ways. Or even at work, like Kalilia hapo. And it's so annoying. In a way, and you cannot be rude to them because they genuinely mean well. But sometimes imagine you just have to know when you've got to go. Imagine.
Because I just know the time to leave. I mean, there are people like that. That's the kind of situation where you need to leave like umekuja. You come, okay, you stay like maybe for the first night, the second. But sasa, okay, I know we are having a hangout, but sasa up until the third day. You take up and people should just maybe know, depending even on the type of friendship that you have or even the relationship that you have, you should know when to leave. Like unangoja kufukuzwa.
Because now it will start like having implications on even our relationship. Because now, if I have to tell you to go, obviously you'll get upset. It's not going to be the same again. And then I think it's still something about boundaries. Because by the time it's because when they're in your space, they're still like crossing the boundaries in a way. Like they don't know about boundaries.
At the same time, this is so interesting. Do you think you're bold enough to tell a person to leave, like to tell them now, okay, I need to do this and this, you need to leave? How would you approach that?
Okay, I'm not bold enough. If I'm really tired, like I'm going to make up an excuse to like go where you're going and then come back on my own. And that is like so fucked up because I'm even inconveniencing myself and going out of my way to do something that I did not even intend to do in the first place. But that boldness, I feel like so inhumane. Like, do you have the boldness to like?
I feel like I don't have the boldness.
It's really hard.
Because how do I even tell them to leave?
But that's what Nini breeds the resentment, which now becomes an ache. Because you can't tell them they're in your space, you can't tell them to leave, so you just sit on it and you start bring up.
Wow. I don't even know like how I would come and tell you just go. Now you've overstayed. Okay, that's interesting. So I think the next one will be, you see the people who maybe don't carry earphones, people who put maybe their music or even maybe the videos that they're watching, especially when you're in public transport, they're on loudspeaker, maybe playing their own videos and then it's too loud. Somebody's on TikTok and you don't want to listen to what they're listening to maybe in the morning, or even like having their phone calls on loudspeaker and then in a bus, basically. So because why are you even doing that? You've never heard about something that was invented that was called the earphones. You don't want to listen to your own thing.
I think like people who talk too loudly, like on the phone, even not only on the bus, like even in general, maybe sometimes mahali, you don't just want to be have like quiet thoughts, and I'm trying to say, hey, hello, I know. So like you're invested in that story, and that's how I was kizadi. And then also people like when you hang out with them and they're like on their phone, or even like okay, fine, a subtle like being on IG for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that's okay. Like if you're all doing it. But now we are waiting on you. Like maybe even it's me and you going for a dinner date. Alafu nashinda nikipigiwa simu all the time. And then I'm not even moving away. I'm there.
Oh, I'm receiving.
And then receiving and then Nico so loud. Nico, it's not like you're even existing like in my world anymore.
I get because of that one where like maybe sasa we're on a date or maybe even we're hanging out together and then you keep on receiving your calls and being too loud. I don't know why. There's a time that my sister used to tell me I'm so loud when I'm speaking on the phone. I'm in the house and the neighbor can hear me. I get what you're saying.
Okay. Wow. I think for me the other one, and it for me is people who always like try to like look good and they don't care if they throw anyone or even everyone under the bus as long as they come out looking like the same. So it's like in friendships or even in corporate, but this happens mostly like in corporate. So now there's a way sometimes mistakes can be done, like genuine mistakes. But every time even when you're the one who has made the mistake, you can always find someone to blame. It's never you, you know. I think that's a really, really bad habit.
I think so too. In that case, you're always like maybe trying to outshine everybody, how to be the perfect one, and then everybody else comes second, and then you'll never own up to your mistake. It's always the other person, the victim mentality. It's always the other person. It's never you. I think people who always want to. I think that like a power struggle because you don't want to. Yeah, you always want to feel like the perfect one.
And like that only works like for a very short while. Eventually, everyone will start seeing through your bullshit. Even these people you're trying to show that you're very perfect. They will say, this kind of a person. And they will know, even if they protect you, eventually when the rubber meets the road, you're also going to do the same to them.
Love that.
Yeah.
I would say this one, my friend normally talks about this one. Shout out to Nancy. So, like you see the people who eat in matatus and buses, because why do you come in a bus? Maybe let's say you're traveling. It can even be somebody, like somewhere. Let's not even talk about the long distances, like maybe from Nairobi to Coast, because maybe you'll get a stopover and buy something to eat. But tell me why you're coming from here, Nairobi town, to Ngong Road now, Shatoa, like chips. I'm something that is smelling like in the whole car. There's only somebody who had like maybe the 50 bob to get them to where they were going. But wewe uko na chicken and chips za pale side forward. Kila mtu anukiwe na chakula.
Alafu upigiwe simu uanze kuongea ukitafuna.
Usiharibu, don't even. Because why? Like it's just a few minutes, like 20 to 30 minutes, and then you're there. You
get from there and you do what you want.
No, let's even. Could maybe even in that bus, there's people who are very hungry, and then when we go to happen on my chips, stop that. Because the only maybe understandable thing is where everybody is eating on the bus. Like maybe everybody is snacking because you had a stopover and then you're having a meal. Or maybe in a flight where everybody is getting served. Lakini hingine unatoka hapa like to a distance that is 20 or 15 minutes away and then you're eating. No, thank you. And then maybe it's a good looking man.
Has some class, okay, and then another ick for me is people who are entitled, right? And in most cases, entitlement are the kind of people who didn't even lift a finger for you. Like they expect you to stop the whole world for them, but for them, even doing the bare minimum for you feels like a lot of work to them. And now and then they end up also always vilifying you, making you look like you're the bad guy when you don't meet their demands. Imagine you're grown ups now, just be responsible for your life and know that no one owes you anything. Whether they're family, your friends, even your spouse. Literally no one owes you anything. So
I get you, because outside here there's so many entitled people. Like you're entitled to so much, yet you yourself, you can never do something like that for me. Hey, this entitlement and audacity must be on field. How
are you doing it? And then nilikuwa nimeona this lady Diana Mara when she made that video, and I know a lot of people were like kind of rubbed the wrong way when she met a group of I think homeless people or something, and then they were asking her for money, and then she gave them $1,000 to distribute it among themselves, and then they started insulting her. How can you give us this, Nini? And I'm like, wow. You did not. I don't even need. I'm just doing it out of it. Even if it was 5 bob, imagine I feel like someone should be appreciative because they don't have to.
They don't have. They don't have to. Because
right.
I'm even getting so mad because when I think about entitled people, the people that I've met that were very entitled, they were so entitled to things that I myself am very shocked. I'm very shook. That's a good one. For me, another one is you see the people that do not tolerate other people's opinion, other people's decision making, because you, as for you and as for me, myself and I can make my own decisions, I can have my own opinion, but you coming to maybe try and alter the decisions that I made. Like a good case, a good case is, you see, when it comes to matters religion, especially, people, of course, have different opinions, or you think this is good, you think this is bad, and especially those people who are very fanatics of religion. Wale watu wenye wanakuanga na certain opinions that are too deep, na yet themselves they never question those things that walikuja tu wakakuwa introduced to. But mimi nikikuja I tell you, okay, I don't believe in this and this, you're there trying to change my mind, telling me no. In fact, you're going to go to hell because of that. I'm like, imagine you're free to choose whatever you want, so just let me choose whatever I want. So those people who never try and accommodate other people's opinions, religion, and just divisions in life, because this is mine, make your own decision. You don't necessarily have to believe in what I'm saying, or even believe in what I'm saying, but you can just respect that it's my decision, it's my choice. Yes, those people.
I feel like especially like now that you mentioned it, like especially when it comes to Christianity, for me, I believe the gospel, the best way to like spread it is not even about like speaking to people about Christ and stuff like that. Of course, that's important, but I think the primary thing is like living an exemplary life. Like I should so much admire the kind of life that you're living as a Christian, and want to assimilate to that, rather than feeling like I'm being imposed into this ideology, like or idea or belief. You should let people be, and like especially now when you start like suppressing people, making them feel inferior. You're the best. You're the better person.
The best choices in life. Because imagine you might believe in whatever you believe in. I believe in what I believe in, because at the end of the time it's my faith. Na maybe utanipata hela, hata maybe utanipata mbinguni nikiwa serve cocktails. Ama wine.
True. So now, I think my next ick is about people who can't be like their own person. Like maybe people who move with the wind. About some people who have like some sick sense of like misplaced loyalty. Like if me and Anna are friends, like I would rather like die thirsty because of Anna anasema tusikunywe maji, and there's not even an explanation, but they will live like, hey, like please. I think that is usually so annoying. Especially like if you're like a group of friends, and then there's this one person who like religiously worships in a way. I don't know why people get like that. I understand it might be like trauma, childhood trauma or something like that. The people who are like pick me kind of people, they wanafanga that character. I think that gives me such an ick, and I never want to get associated with those kind of people, because even me, if you're my friend and you can't even call me out on my bullshit, or even tell me, like, give me constructive criticism, because you're always agreeing with me. Imagine hata we can't maliza a week, utakuwa ushanichokesha. Because me, I like people who challenge me. So me, if I find people like how they really mpaka huwa nahurumia. I think it's more pity than even ick, but also that ick is there, because sometimes those are the kind of people when like you don't even get things moving.
I feel I think you triggered like a very major part of me, especially in high school. Especially people who just used to follow certain people because they believe that, like, maybe they are they used to see them like
they have some certain social status.
They used to think that they're maybe the most coolest people, and then now they would never question them. They'd always like follow them. It's more like kissing us.
Kissing us. Like, and that's actually what it is.
Because karibu hata nikulambe miguu. Please.
And I'm just like sacrificing my own happiness just to, like, I don't know. It's so unnecessary.
It's a good one. I'm so triggered. I think right now there are some people, especially back then, that I would meet and just give them, okay, I don't advocate for violence, but tunaweza patana niwachape makofi.
I think even the bigger problem is the people who know that they're misusing. and like you take advantage of it.
That because you know
because like honestly, you should be a better person and just tell them, honey, this is not right. Just do better.
Because now that I think about it, because some used to follow certain people just genuinely, but the people that used to get followed, they knew that they were actually using people.
Yeah, they knew. Yeah, and they were happy to do it. They didn't even matter the extent. Like they're just happy to
just stop there.
Yeah,
I'm getting angry. I don't want you.
Honestly, I'm not even thinking about it back then because I see it even like in everyday life. You know, For me, another age is like people who lose themselves in relationships. Yeah, like both genders anyway, because it's not only as women, who lose ourselves in relationships. And then now you neglect all other areas of your lives, especially your other relationships, whether it's family or friends. And now you like kind of tend to neglect that part of your life, forgetting that it's important. Because anyway, when things go wrong, these are the same people that you run to. And now when you lost yourself in the relationship, you wanted us to give you space. But now when things are tough, you want us to embrace you. So I feel like that's so wrong. It's good to have a balance, you know? And show up for people in the same way that you expect them to show up for you.
I think it also goes to show that even as we talk about decentering men, especially when it comes to women. We should also talk about decentering other people. Like even for men, it's making yourself the center of like your whole life. Whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, you need to decenter other people and make it about yourself. Because shit can always hit the fan.
True. Yeah. Do you have another point?
I think the other point that I have is this one is for men. Men who tend to feel very superior as compared to women. So they're always the people who are mansplaining things. They're always the men who feel like they're so superior than women. So in all the cases, a good example is maybe you feel like you're better at driving than women, you're better at maybe parking than women. Like case example of those guards at supermarkets, when they see that you're a woman, they want to come and try and show you how to park. But I have a camera, I have the side mirrors, I can park. So always trying to kujifanya ndo.
And they're not even like trying to help you like in a healthy way, because there's some good askaris who like do it like genuinely, like from a point of like wanting to help you, not from the point of like trying to show you. Ujui unafanya by the way.
So that's the men who try and feel like they're superior than women. Those are the men who I'm trying to talk about.
And I understand that, and like we already know that we live in a patriarchal society as it is. Like it's unnecessary to like rub it on our faces all the time. They're mansplaining.
Your patriarchal views, your misogyny.
Imagine we don't care
outside.
Okay. I feel like we should wrap up.
I feel like that's a good point. We don't get boring. People nowadays don't even have patience. like on TikTok, people on TikTok. I love TikTok for some reason. People are very unhinged. People are always going to speak their minds. And when you try and come and explain something on TikTok and then you're taking too long, they tell you, please wrap up, or even can you try and summarize whatever you have said? We don't want to make it too long for people to get bored.
So we're gonna keep it short and sweet.
Short and sweet. And I think you can also engage with us by telling us some of your icks on the comment section, or even engaging with us on our socials. Everything is going to be linked on the description.
On the description box. Okay. I was going to say links on the bio.
On the bio. Well, you have a point.
So thanks for being here today. See you guys on the next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 See you.